Today I would be giving my interview to Gyaneshwar Malba. So, hi Gyaneshwar.
Hello, Smriti. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, pretty excited for the interview. Let's get started.
Yep, sure. So, hello everyone. We will be. I'll be asking few questions to Smriti on batch apex. So, the first question is, what is asynchronous apex?
So, basically, when a task is running in the background and we don't have to wait, for that we can say that it is an asynchronous apex. I can give you an example that, for example, I am running the washing machine. At the same time, I went to the gas station without waiting for the washing machine to get over. So, basically, I am doing both the tasks side by side without waiting for one to complete. So that is a kind of asynchronous apex we are following in the real time. So we have to remember that when the task is running in the background, that is asynchronous apex. Also, we the process is running in the separate thread, and obviously there is no governor, and there is a higher governor limit for the asynchronous apex as compared to synchronous apex.
Yes, that's correct. So, here is the answer I have. So, process that executes a task in the background. Yes.
Okay.
And as you said, it has higher governor and execution limits. That's good. So I'll go for the next question. What are the types of asynchronous apex?
So the types of asynchronous apex are batch, future, queuable, and schedulable. Do you want me to explain in detail what how they work?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if we talk about future method, so when we are talking about the web callouts, that time we use future method, and for the mixed DML errors, solving them we use future method. And basically mixed DML error, we stop when error happens when we are using setup object and non setup object in one single transaction, and to stop that error we are using the future method. And then comes the batch apex. So when we have large chunk of data, that time we are using batch apex. Basically for database maintenance jobs we can use it. Schedulable apex is used for if we want to invoke apex class at a particular time. So we can decide, okay, this week this time, that's how we can do the schedulable apex. And queuable apex is like, it's having more advantage than future, because we can have the chaining of job, and also we can do the monitoring because we get the job ID. So these are the types of asynchronous apex.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. So let's see. Future methods. As you said, these are used to prevent DML, mixed DML error, and to make web callouts, service callouts, batch apex. Whenever we have any large query jobs to run, so we go for batch apex. Schedule apex, as the name itself says, schedule. We can see this. We can just schedule the apex classes with this schedule apex. And then queuable is one after the other. Is the name. We can see the name queuable. So one task is dependent on the completion of other. So yeah, that's good. So I'll go for the next question now. Why do we use batch apex?
So batch apex is used when we are talking about the large chunk of data. So you can say like thousands or millions of records. So that is the time when we use the batch apex.
Correct. Basically, with normal apex, it has some limits. So for huge data, we go for batch apex. Yes, that's correct. Thank you. I'll go for next question. What interface will you use for batch apex?
So I can use the database.batchable interface.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. Yes. So This is an interface which is used for batch Apex. Database.batchable. What are the methods used in batch Apex?
So yeah, I would say that it is very important question, and I will go with start, execute, and finish methods. Do you want me to explain about these methods?
Yes, please.
Okay, so like the name suggests, start is like the first method we use at the beginning, and it returns either the database dot query locator or iteratable. Then comes the execute method, and it is basically for actual processing of the records, and default batch size is like 200 records. And then comes the finish method. It is used for the post processing logic, for example like sending emails. For that we use. So these are the methods.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you. As you said, that's correct. It has three methods: start, execute, and finish. Yeah. I'll go for the next question. What is the difference between query locator object and iterable used in batch Apex?
So this is kind of a confusing question to me. So I would pass. I'm not that sure.
Okay, no problem. So basically, query locator object is like the governor limit for the total number of records retrieved by SQL queries is bypassed. So if we use that query locator object, the governor limit is passed, like bypassed, and we can query up to 50 million records. However, like with the iterable, the governor limit for the total number of records retrieved by SQL queries is still enforced. So that's the difference between these two.
Okay, got it.
So I'll go ahead for the next question. What are the parameters passed in the execute method?
Okay, so one is database dot batchable context object. Then second is list of s objects, and list of parameterized types. So yeah, these are the ones.
Yep, that's correct. A difference to database.batchable context object and then list of S objects. Yes.
Okay.
So next, how to invoke batch class.
So we can use database dot execute batch to basically simply invoke it. And we can also optionally, if we want to pass the second parameter to specify the number of records, we can do that as well.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you. So to invoke database.execute batch, we need to call, and then optionally is can provide the scope parameter. Correct. So the next question is, what is the state of the batch Apex?
So typically it is stateless, and we can make it stateful though. But initially, as I said, that it is stateless, and each batch apex job is considered in a discrete transaction. So, for example, if the batch job contains like 5,000 records, and batch size is like 200 records each, so it will be having separate transactions for 200 records each. So that's how it works. But if we want to be not, we want it to be stateful, so then we use the database.stateful.
Right. Yes, it's stateless, and as you said, that's correct, and it's considered as the discrete transaction. So every transaction is a separate transaction.
Got it. Thank you.
What is the use of database.stateful?
So let me think. So basically, when we are using database.stateful, so we can maintain the state across the transaction. So we can say that the member variables can retain their value. So if, for example, we are using for counting and summarizing records as they are processed, for that we can do. For example, if we are like updating account records in our batch, and in the end we want to have the total records. So that time, like for sending, for example, email. So whenever we want the total number, and because initially what we learned that batch apex is stateless. So it will not retain the total number of records because each batch will be having separate transaction. But if we use database.stateful, it will be remembering it, the separate transactions, and then it can give you the total number of transactions. So example I took for account records, it will be able to take it, and that's why database.stateful is being helpful to remember the state.
That's correct. Yes. So basically, to maintain the state across all the transactions, we use database.stateful. Yes. Thank you. So I'll go for the next question. When to use batch epochs instead of queuable like epochs?
I'm not completely sure.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So basically, like if you have like more than one batch of records, you go for batch epochs. If you don't have like enough records to run more than one batch, then and in that case you go for queuable epochs. So that's fine. I'll go for the next question. How to monitor batch job?
So we go to the setup, and then in the quick find we write the apex job, and then we are able to see the apex job page, and that's how we find it. And then there's one more question about how to use HTTP callouts in batch class. So for that we use the database.allow callouts interface.
Next, how we can schedule the batch class?
So if you want to schedule a batch, let me think. We will be using basically the schedulable. So schedulable apex we will be using.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Correct. If a batch is having, let's say, 200 records, and if one of the record fails, what will happen?
So if any record fails out of 200, then the whole so whole 200 records will fail, but the next batch of 200 will get executed basically.
Okay. So I'll go for the next question. Can we call batch into another batch epochs?
Okay, so yeah, here I want to say that these kind of questions are like tricky and very important. That can we call future from batch? Can we call queuable from batch? Can we call batch from batch? So yes, we can call batch from batch.
Okay. Cool. Can we call batch epochs into another batch epochs in execute method?
So yes, we can call batch from batch, but from future method, not from execute method. And if we try to call from execute method, then Salesforce will be throwing error that it cannot be called from the batch method.
Okay, so we can use basically finish method, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Yeah, the exception it gives, async exception, the system.async exception, we can see that. It cannot be called from batch start, execute, or future method. Can be called only from finish method.
Got it.
So I'll go for the next question. Can we call the batch epochs from triggers in Salesforce?
Yes, we can do it, but we have to remember that we should always not call batch picks from trigger each time, as this will exceed the government limit. So we have to remember that we should not call each time, and think about the limits as
well. Okay. Yes. Because every time the trigger runs, if you call batch epochs, it will take all your resources. So yep, that's not recommended.
And it also says that the good reason we can only have 5 apex jobs queued or executing at a time.
Right.
Got it.
Next, can we call a web service caller from batch epochs?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, that's cool. Yes, we have to implement the interface, which is allow callouts,
database.allow callouts interface.
Okay, there's one more question. How many times start, execute, finish methods will execute in a batch epochs?
So start one, finish one, and execute as many times as depends on the work we are doing. Task, it depends on the task.
You mean to say records, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's correct. Yep. Batch size and data retrieved in start method. Yes. Next, what is the batch executions limit per day?
So if I correctly remember, it's like 2,50,000 per 24 hours.
Mm, yes, 50.
2,50,000.
Okay, yeah, that's the batch executions per 24 hours records. Can we call the future method in batch class?
No, we cannot.
Okay. Can I call queueable from a batch?
Yes, we can, but we have to remember that we can just call one system inquiry job per execute in the database.batchable class. So that is the limitation we have to remember.
Yes, that's
That
correct.
we can call only one query.
Yes, that's correct. Next, how do you test the batch class?
Okay. So basically, if I want to test a batch class, I need to remember that it should be running between test.start test and test.stop test. So basically, any asynchronous code should be included within test start and test stop, and is executed that time in putting in that.
Okay, that's correct.
And also, I want to point out that we should be testing like for more than like for like 200 records.
Yes,
Testing
like
for
for
bulk
single
records is important.
bulk records as well. You mean to say, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's correct. We'll go for next and the last question I have for the batch interview questions. How many records we can insert while testing the batch Apex?
So basically, we have to make sure that the number of records inserted is less than or equal to the batch size of 200, because this method can execute only one batch. So if we are like testing like more than 200, then that is not possible. So we should ensure that.
Yes, that's right. So for today, uh, that was it. And tomorrow, please prepare for QAble interview questions. So
Yeah, thank you. So how well I did, Gyan? Can you give me the review?
it was good. It was really good. But if we have like more examples and for few of the questions, that would be better.
Okay.
That will help more like going ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So, yeah. Thank you. Bye.